We have another very, very special friend that has called in this afternoon to KPFT to tell us about a very, very special event going on tomorrow downtown Houston, Texas. On the phone, we have Tommy George. Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
How you doing, James? Glad to hear from you today.
Are you high and dry over there?
Yeah, I am high and dry, believe it or not.
Well, I think the rain is all starting to move out, and that's good news for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it is great. It probably means a lot of people want to get out of their house and party, I hope.
Well, I think there's probably a place that you could recommend tomorrow afternoon that might have some interest to some of our listeners out there.
Yes, we'll be doing the Texas Psych Garage Happening 3, which has been a great, I think, tribute to the 60s and early 70s local Houston musicians, and it's also a tribute to all the fans that have been around for all these years and enjoy that music and enjoy their friends and their Facebook friends, and everybody get together in one place and kind of let their hair down, have a good time.
Well, your first two outings, Texas Psych Garage 1 and 2, were both very, very successful, and they were held down there at beer parties as well. Tell us what our listeners might expect tomorrow as far as the musicians you've managed to assemble.
Well, on this show, I think it's going to be actually the best show we've had from learning from any of the weaknesses or mistakes we made on the first two. And first of all, we have Steve Bundrick, which is going to be having. In other words, I'm going to have the equipment, professional sound man, professional equipment for all these musicians. So when they come in, most of them are just going to need to carry their guitar in,
a great backline and sound man,
bring their talent in, plug in. So it's going to make it very simple for the musicians, and the equipment that will be there will be what I call concert type equipment. So the sound is going to be tremendously better. That's one. Number two is we have a lot of great talented musicians that will be coming in to a show, which is, of course, everyone in Houston knows Big Al Bettis, which he's Big Al Bettis is kind of the guy. He's always taken care of us. He's always been there for us, and he's going to be backing up Roy Head, and he's going to be having his own show with his members of his group, and then we'll also have the Coastliners, which they're the Gulf Coast Beach Boy band from the past, and he's got a lot of followers for them, and so Tommy Meekins and Ozzy Hart will be there, and they'll be producing their surf music, which is really cool.
They were so big back in the day, and it's good to see them out on the scene again, and a great opportunity for their fans to come out and check them out.
That's correct, and we'll also have the tightest, the best Beatles group, tribute group. So it'd be like bringing the Beatles. I know we can't bring the Beatles. I'd love to call Paul McCartney up and ask him to come on down.
Yeah. John and George might have something to say about it as well, huh?
But we're going to have the Joe Biardi, which is my partner in crime, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And the Fab Five will be there to perform all the Beatle numbers back in 1965, just like it was when they came to Houston in 1965.
The best Beatle cover band I've ever seen, I do believe. A great group of guys. They really do the costume periods and their songs. Everything is just to the T.
Oh, yeah, they even talk like them.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that, and then of course we'll have Roy Head, which is going to be.
Oh my word, that's a show unto itself right there.
Well, the thing that I told Roy called up this morning. He says, everything's on. He's just a really go-getter, and he's got that raspy voice, and he's, everything's cool, Tom. I'm gonna be there. I'm already ready to come. He's ready to party. And I said, you know what, Roy, which would really be cool, because Billy Gibbons is out there with his new Cuban group that he's kind of got a big tour set up. Billy's got a big tour set up, and he just did Roy Head's. His style and Cuban style did Treat Her Right.
Oh, man.
Roy Head.
Roy just got
I love it, man. I love it. A lot of people are listening. He's been very successful with it. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if Billy had just kind of come in and do a little thing with you, Roy? He goes, oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Maybe it'll happen sometime.
Well, so, I think Roy just got a lawn chair out by the mailbox right now, just waiting for the residuals to come in on we love Roy. I bet Roy's listening right now.
And really, Billy started it all, so we kind of like the fact that he put Houston on the map. So it's a great thing that he's doing that, and I'm really happy for Roy. And we will also have after Roy, we're going to have a guest band, which, believe it or not, we got a hold of these guys, and Joe got a hold of these guys. Being the collector he is, he can find anybody. And the Dave Starkey 5 will be there, which the original Starkey member was a relative of Ringo Starr with the last name of Starkey. Now, he's back in England. He won't be with them, but the original guys, the original singer for Dave Starkey 5 is going to be there, and they're going to do a guest hit after Roy, which is going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it because these guys are really the 60s, and they're all thrilled about being there, and they're going to put on a great show. And after that, we'll have Neil Ford and John Peerless, which was the rhythm guitar player for Neil Ford and Fanatics. In fact, John wrote a lot of the music for the Neil Ford and Fanatics in the past. And we'll have some of the Fab Five guys, which is, Joe Baiardi, and of course, and I want to make sure and say Joe's name right, Joe Baiardi. I want to make sure and get that right. And also Rodney Robert on drums, which will back up John and Neil Ford. So we're going to have some Fab Five guys and Neil Ford guys putting on a show, which is going to be fantastic. I mean, so I think the music overall is going to be a better show than the first two, by a long shot. That's my feeling. Now, Cadillac was supposed to be there, but unfortunately, Cadillac lives up in the Dallas area, and based on the fact that he was going to drive down here and he doesn't know what the roads are like and this, that, he doesn't want to take the chance, and his wife doesn't want him to take the chance, and I don't blame him. I think he made a real good decision. So I've talked to Big Al, and Bill Al is going to bring in some guest people to fill that 30-minute slot with Big Al playing behind him, because Big Al is going to back up Cadillac anyway. So right. Now what he's going to do, and I'm not sure who they're going to be, but the rumor is, and I think it's going to be Scott Miguel, and I think it's going to be Rock Romano, which are excellent musicians, and everyone knows them, and I think that would be a great fit, great for the fans. So we're not going to miss anything, but we're going to be getting Cadillac back as soon as we can do it.
Yeah, we certainly love Scott and Rock. If Cadillac can't be here, we certainly understand that. But, hey, no worries there. The show will go on. And once again, it looks like the weather is going to be very cooperative tomorrow. It looks like partly cloudy conditions. So I think after a couple of days of having a continuous rain, people are starting to get the cabin fever and wanting to start to venture out and see what's out there behind the closed doors and the rolled up window shades.
Well, it's free. It's free to get in. So
hey, well, you're making the case for me here.
Yeah, it's free to get in, and not only that, I've got this. There's a guy named Charles. He's adopted the name. People on Facebook will probably know it as the Houston Groove Dog, and I think it's wonderful. And he's going to be giving out free cheap sunglasses after the kind of like our little thing to Billy Gibbons or whatever. Uh-huh. And if you get there soon enough, you get you a free pair of cheap sunglasses to wear. Put you in the mood,
And this all takes place at Beer Pretty's downtown. That is located on the corner of Louisiana and Prairie. The actual address is 500 Louisiana. But the music kicks off at 6:30. But I would suggest if people want to get down there and get a seat and maybe grab some of that their fine pizza and a glass of an adult libation, they might want to get a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah, I think that for the first time on this show, the fans have kind of taken it upon themselves to promote and message me on what time to get there. And there's people that say they'll be there at 3. There's people that say they're going to be there and eat lunch and stay there till dinner because there's no reservation. So it's first come, first serve for the seats. So the people that want to really get a great table, it would be probably smart to get there by at least 4 o'clock, no later than 5. And otherwise, if you can't, there'll be room for you and everything, but you won't be sitting probably in the best seats. But This time we're going to have the band up against the north side of the window on the floor, so everyone will be able to see them really well, and there's going to be a lot more convenient in that sense. But I don't know how many people will show up. From the feeling I'm getting, it looks like it's going to be pretty successful.
Judging from last year's and the good weather, you're going to have a packed turnout, Tommy. So no worries there. Once again, Texas Psych Garage happening number 3, going to be happening tomorrow at Bear Paredes downtown, located 500 Louisiana. Music starts at 6:30, but word to the wise, you might want to get there a little bit early to grab yourself a seat someplace or a place at the bar, and get lubricated before the show starts, right?
Yeah. Can I say one more thing, James?
No, your time's through. No more. What?
There will also be a very talented a photographer named Chumby, which, and I hope I'm saying her name right. If I'm not, forgive me, Chumby. But she will be there doing a documentary on this, and I've instructed, not instructed, but have requested that we make a really big focus on the fans. So I want to have pictures of the fans. I want their grandkids to see them having a good time. I mean, when we're all, down the road and, in our 70s or whatever, and the grandbabies can go back and say, oh, look at that. There's Grandma. There's Grandpa. Look at that. They're having a good time at a 60s party. So we're going to be floating around treating the fans as important as we treat the musicians. This whole thing is for the musicians and for the fans because they're the ones that made the 60s happen.
So you mean I can wear
make sure everyone knows that.
I can wear my best flower child clothes to get my picture taken in?
If you want, I know there's some people going to be there and some crazy stuff, and that's great. The more the power. I love that.
Break out the bell bottoms and the paisley print, huh?
That's right. Wear your hippie clothes if you want to. You don't have to. It's not required or anything, but if you want to, wear your hippie clothes.
All right, Tommy George, thank you so much for calling in. We will catch you tomorrow downtown at Beer Paredes for Texas Psych Garage happening number 3. Thank you so much, and catch you down there. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, Blue Town. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, buddy.